This is Tony Mtai, captain the best club in the world, Kenya Harlequins, and you're watching Three Quarter Podcast.
Episode 11 of the Three Quarters Podcast. We are shooting today from the top. These guys have been very loyal to us at the Mirage. This is Ngash, your official noisemaker.
This is Joro, the geek in charge.
And it's only right that we begin with the hashtag that we've always been talking about the last two episodes. Road to Japan.
Road to Japan.
The Kenya Simbas are starting the quest in the next 2 months, 3 months, to make way to Japan 2019. That's where the Rugby World Cup is going to be.
Yep.
And we as the Three Quarters Podcast crew have always told you that it's about 15s. Rugby is about 15s. And therefore, the reason why we started the Road to Japan hashtag. It's only right
that we have to do our part. We have to rally guys.
That's true.
Come and support these guys.
That's true.
As they are trying to secure some position in the World Cup.
In the World Cup. And we have a very realistic chance of making the World Cup.
Very realistic.
It's only right that we start with the team that has been chosen, the 60-man pool that has been chosen, which were having their trials today at KRFU. What do you think about the team that has been chosen? Do you think there's some guys who are missing out who should have been there? What do you think the matchups you'd like to see, some notable canvas that you've seen? Tell me what your thoughts are about it.
Well, 60 guys, a pool of 60 to choose from is that's a big number. But the thing is, currently there's so many good guys.
Yes.
So it'll be hard to tell. But I'll talk about the likes of Oscar Simiu. They're the guys who are the mainstay. We have the Ambunyas.
Yes.
We have the Patrice Agundas.
Yes.
But the good thing is we have a very heavy selection. The competition is going to be tight.
Yes.
For those final, is it 40 or 30?
It's 40. Wangila Simiu, the team manager for Kenya, has requested the union to have 40 players because it's going to be a long season. There's the 5 or 6 qualifiers we have, and there are a couple of tests that are scheduling. So then they'll ideally need a number of about 40 guys to be picking from. So anyway, you're saying that the number, 40 guys, from 60 to 40 guys is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
Yes. What's your thought about? I have mixed feelings about this, but what's your thought about Biko Adema getting back into the pool?
Hi, Biko. I'll tell you one thing about Biko. Biko has class. He has this class.
Yes.
It's permanent.
Yes.
As they say.
Yes.
And his experience will go a long way.
Yeah.
Because he's played out there. He's played all kinds of players.
Yes.
And him coming back.
Yes.
And especially at first center.
Yeah.
I think if you pair him with the correct outside center.
Yes.
It'll be a perfect pairing. If you have like
Biko Ambunya,
that can be a dangerous setting.
Yes.
Or a Biko Patrice.
yeah. But the good thing, I
options are there.
He hasn't played for 6 years now for the Kenya Simbas. The good thing I like about this thing is also to see someone like Biko being selected number 1, and Biko is a 7th guy. He's been playing 7s for a very long time. I must admit that he's in terms of his performance, he's now back to where we knew Biko in terms of 15s. He's been off the scene. The 15th scene for about 6 years. So I watched him play versus Strathmore and I was like, goodness.
You can see it every time he touches the ball. There's a lot of professionalism to the way he plays the game.
Exactly.
He's not prone to silly mistakes.
Yes.
And he executes the way you're supposed to.
Execute. Man, from the Three Quarters Podcast crew, all we can wish these guys is the best.
Yep.
When they start their campaign, and they're going to start their campaign in June, all we can ask the fans is please support these guys. Go to Japan, join the hashtag. These guys have a realistic chance of making it to Japan in 2019. Very realistic chance, and all we can wish the Simbas is the best. On to our feature game of the week. Homeboys versus Mwamba. We were there, Joro. Tell me, what do you think about that game, Masi?
Personally, let me start with saying that Homeboys deserve a lot of respect. These guys, they've come out of 2017.
Yes.
They've come out of the blocks.
Yes.
Full throttle, full tilt.
They beat Queens. Humiliated Impala.
Yes. And then yesterday, Mwamba was the next victim.
Yes.
As in, it ended 28-17.
Yes.
And I can say Homeboys dominated all facets of the game.
Yes.
Especially in the first half.
Yes.
You could see their scrums were absolutely dominant. They were pushing over every single scrum.
Yes.
And especially Masai.
Yes.
Masai was keeping the ball rolling.
His recycling
was crazy.
Yeah.
They were going through the motions in a very perfect way. Their forwards were working together. They were very solid. And their backs were also
exceptional.
So it was a really good performance by Homeboys.
I feel Homeboys doesn't get the credit these guys deserve. Homeboys have been playing some good rugby. They're currently, I think, third or fourth.
They're fourth now.
Fourth. They've been playing some very good rugby. And yesterday when we saw them playing Mwamba, number one, the ball was cycling at the breakdown. It was very quick. They dominated the breakdown situation. Their lineups were exceptional.
Yeah.
I liked the guys in the boiler room, the second ones.
Yeah.
Those guys were very efficient.
Quite.
Their chemistry looks to be working very well for them. You could tell up there with the offloading. Their offload was very good. It was very good. And then there was that thing about interchanging Masai and
Wanjala. So even the defense was guessing. They kept the defense guessing.
Yes.
Because at one point Wanjala is at 10.
Yes.
The next point they see Masai is the one who's
at 10.
He's at 10.
Yes.
So you're like, what's going on? But wow.
Though, to be honest, I would like. I get the feeling that Mike Wanjala is better at 9 than 10, and Masai is also better at 10 than 9, because Mike Wanjala is his decision making at the breakdown. You can see he's very sharp in terms of he knows when to off the ball very quickly. He knows when to go in for the close contact. He knows when to off the ball to the backs. And Masai at 10 is also he can direct traffic a bit well. So I'd like to see Mike more at 9.
More at 9 than 10. In fact, just to epitomize what you're saying, there's a point where on the sidelines and there was a ball that Wanjala received. He was playing at 10.
Yes.
And then with Akina Edgar was discussing.
Yes.
And we could see then the move was called that it's going to the first center.
Yes.
But the first center was coming in and he pulled the Mwamba center. He pulled them in.
Yes.
So all it was calling for is an ass pass.
Exactly.
But you see, I think if it was Masai, he would have
ass pass the pass behind.
Oh yeah, sorry. An ass pass is a pass behind
your back. Anyway.
Yeah, so I think if it was Masai, those are the kind of things that a guy who has been playing at 10 for a long time will easily spot.
Yes.
Yeah, where you can improvise.
Yeah.
Although you call the play that it's the first center is going to get, you'll see that the situation has changed.
Yes.
And you react immediately.
And we always say the great fly halves in the world. To me, the best player in the world is Dan Carter. Has been Dan Carter. And he was very good at that. You call a move, but you see this move is not going to work, or another move is better for this situation, and you adjust quickly.
You adjust immediately.
Yes. Kevin Masai has the aptitude to do that, I think, more than Mike Wanjala. I'm not saying Mike Wanjala is bad, but he's much better machining from the back, breakdown and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
I also want to mention two guys. Brad Okwaro, Captain Mwamba, and George Mutuku, famously known as Tuku, the scrum half from Mwamba. I think they had a very decent game, despite the fact that they did lose. I think they had a very decent game.
Yeah, true. And at some point in the second half, like the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, it seemed as though Mwamba were going to make a comeback to that game.
Exactly.
Because all of a sudden there were line breaks. Kayange was making breaks.
Yes.
They got their try in, then they had reduced the deficit. Then I think, I don't know if it was the coach who told Homeboys, let's go back to what we were doing.
Yes.
Dominating at the breakdown, keeping it tight, and then we release our backs.
And release the backs, yes.
They followed that to the queue, and they got the victory.
I want to say, like, and they call him Mongol. Emmanuel Mavala, the Homeboys captain. I want to give him props. Like he actually, you can see his leadership. He doesn't look clearly like the people who are going to be making noise on the pitch. Which are the kind of leaders he like. It's those guys who lead by example. So I have to give him props and kudos to Homeboys for yesterday.
And also we must mention Shikoli.
Yes,
this guy was clinical.
Yes,
and that's what you can say.
Yes,
as in when he got the chance, he was taking them. That's how a number 14 should be.
That's true.
Because he wouldn't get too many chances, and he got his 3 or 4 chances, and he came out to the hat-trick.
And he executed.
Yeah.
That's very good, man. On to the rest of the games. Queens Western Bulls. Do you have the results, right?
Results, yep.
Yes.
Queens Western Bulls, Queens ran away with that one, but it was a commendable loss.
Yes.
If you can call it that.
can call it that.
Yeah, 'cause everyone thought Queens would run over
Yes.
Western Bulls,
Yes.
but they really tried.
Yes.
And then we have
Nondi's beat. Nondi's lost to Cabras. Yes.
And it was a tight game.
Impala
Okay,
won.
31-15.
31-15, yes.
I can't call that tight, but
Yes.
Cabras at home, tricky situation.
That's true. Impala won, which is also a good thing to
Well,
note.
back to winning ways.
Yes, that's good, man. Match day 11, I'll just read the quick. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Match day 12, which is next week. I'll read the quick list of the games to be played. Western Bulls versus Impala. Mwamba versus Port Pesa Queens. That's going to be a good one at trailer.
Yep.
Min Machine versus Menengai Homeboys. Black Blood versus Cabras Sugar. Nondes Cubes versus Nakuru and Nondis. And of course, our feature game of the week next week is going to be Strathmore Leos versus KCB at Madaraka. Quick predictions, Joro. Western Bulls Impala.
Impala.
Mwamba Queens. So, yeah.
That one is tough. In fact, the captain for Mwamba.
Yes. Brad, yes.
Brad,
yes.
You're saying that Pius
Yes.
challenged you. You're
Yes.
saying that Queens has the best backline
Yes.
in the Kenya Cup. And Brad was challenging him
Yes.
that they have the best backline. So,
Yeah.
that is one to watch. I think Mwamba will just nick it.
Okay, fair enough. Machine Homeboys.
Machine Homeboys.
Black Blood Cabras.
Cabras.
Strat KCB.
I'll go with KCB. They're just too strong this season.
And Nondis Nakuru.
I'll take Nondis.
Nondis. I'll differ with you on two. I think Queens are going to beat Mwamba, and I think Nakuru are going to beat Nondis.
We'll see.
That has been part one of the Three Quarters podcast. We've been talking all Kenya Cup. Part two is coming up next. Remember to like our Facebook page. Remember to follow us on Instagram. We're on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at the Three Quarters. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's the most important thing. This is Nashi, official noisemaker.
Joro, the geek in charge.
Stay tuned for part two.
Yeah, bro.